Okay, in this video what I'm going to do is change the look of the header, and what I'm aiming for is basically to change the look where we've got this header separator here. We can actually change that, and I'm thinking that might go for a boxed layout rather than a wide layout. So what we're going to do is go in the back end, and if we go to the header, okay, you'll see that we've got a couple of things happening here. We've got enable header separator bottom line. Well, at the moment it's enabled, but if we just disable that, save changes, and that's this line here, the very light blue one running along the bottom there. Just want to see what it looks like without that in there, so we'll just refresh the page. And already that's starting to look a little bit neater, but I'm not real happy with this color toning here, which is slightly darker on the bottom and lighter on the top. It looks okay, but I just want to make it look a little bit more distinct. So I've actually picked out a couple of colors that I think would work pretty well, and what I need to do is, yes, I'm in the header once again. I go to the separator top gradient and bottom gradient, and so if I go here and I just go for my top color, which is this one here, I'd already checked that out before, just paste that in. That's a lighter color there, and the bottom color we've got this similar to what it is now, but just a little bit different. Okay, a little bit brighter. Okay, so we'll save that. Remember to click save when you're done, otherwise you won't see your work saved. And we'll just go and refresh this page, and you'll see what happens to this line here. Yeah, now that's looking pretty much exactly the way that I want it to look. It's looking bright and vibrant. Okay, so now I want to change the appearance again and make that look even more distinctive. I want to go with a boxed layout. So we come back to the general panel here. In the general panel you'll see option for the layout, full width or boxed. We want to go boxed, and we want to add a shadow, and I'll just go back and save those changes. And what I'm going to do is refresh the page here and have a look at that. Yeah, looking really good. That's looking very distinct. I kind of like this white background. I might change that later if I want to put in change the color, or if I want to put in a graphic visual image background, I can do that as well, but for the time being that's the way that I'm going to have it. So we have gone from that, which was what we started with, which looked okay, to that in under 30 seconds. You can see quite a big difference between the two, and that is shaping up really well. That's looking very distinctive, and is going the direction I wanted to go. Okay, there is one more thing that I can show you here. What about if I wanted to remove this line altogether here? Can I do that? You saw how we removed the optional spacer underneath before, where there's a checkbox for that in the back end. But what about if I want to change this here? Well, yes, I can do that, and I'll go in the back end now and show you how to do that. Here we are in the control panel once again. Now if I just revert back to the original setting that we had, and I go to header, you'll see here the two controls for the separator for the top and the bottom gradient. So if I wanted to create some extra space underneath the menu tabs here, I could do that. I'll just turn this off again, the separator underneath there, and I can do one of two things. I can either have half the separator line, or all of the separator line removed. And to remove it, it's a visual effect. Basically we just change the color to the background color of the bottom of the header, or of the top of the main background area here. Okay, so to do that, what we're going to do is go in the back end, we're going to remove the enabling of the header separator bottom line, and the first thing we'll do is we'll change the top. We know we're working with white, so we just change that back to white, and see how much difference that makes. So when we refresh the page here, the bottom separator light blue line will disappear, and there'll be a little bit more white space underneath these menu tabs because the top part of the separator line is going to disappear or going to be turned white. Okay, so yeah, you can see the effect there, and that's quite a nice effect. Okay, so what about if I completely want to remove that and have it all appear as though it's all part of the header? Yes, I can do that. I just go back here. So now the header separator bottom gradient, I'll make that white as well. Okay, and we'll save the changes, and when I refresh the page, you'll see that disappears entirely, and there we have it. Okay, and that looks pretty good too. So there's a number of things that you can do. You could just have the separator line separating the two, and or you could have part of the main separator border, which is in two parts, removed or not removed. So there's a number of different alternatives that you've got there, which makes the control of the separation between the header and the main page and the overall appearance of the header look distinctively different from one site to another according to how you would like to have it. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye now.